everyone. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. Summer is fast approaching, which means temperatures are beginning to rise. Trees provide clean air and also much-needed shade. For Arbor Day, the neighbors of Central Alameda joined forces with city leaders to plant new trees, take care of existing ones, and even take some home. Check it out.
Today we are in Central Alameda at Augustus Hawkins Park, and we're going to be planting some trees around the streets in this neighborhood, as well as giving away free trees to residents to take home and plant in their yards. We also are doing some tree care here in the park, which is one of my favorite things. We're going to be mulching some young trees, planting a couple of new trees, and just giving them a little TLC.
We're just so excited to be here at the park, here in CD9. We know that it's such an important holiday to celebrate really all over our country, and we're really excited what's happening right here in LA. We're going to be giving away hundreds of trees, providing information, and it's really a collaboration with a variety of community-based organizations, city departments, regional agencies, all talking about the importance of having a green canopy, a green environment. So Arbor Day is a great way to make that happen.
Some people ask, what is Northeast Trees doing working in South Central LA? But over the years, Northeast Trees has served neighborhoods throughout the city of LA. We specialize in community forestry and habitat restoration and bringing nature back to the city.
Trees are very important. They're very crucial right now, as we know, heat waves. And so we're just trying to build better communities for our city. Not only they beautify, but they provide so many health benefits that our communities need, and also just grow the canopy. We have seen a decrease in canopy coverage.
We don't have the tree canopy that benefits many communities, and so it's important that underserved areas have access to these kinds of programs that improve the quality of life. We know that trees provide shade, and also it just makes it possible for us to have an enjoyable space to relax under the tree. And so this is a fun time to be here.
Cultural visibility is the cornerstone of a richly diverse city like Los Angeles, where its officials are proudly celebrating AAPI Heritage Month. Councilmember John Lee shared why highlighting prominent AAPI figures and their impactful contributions is so important.
Asian American Pacific Islander Month is an opportunity for us to talk about the different accomplishments that we've made, whether it be in this country, our state, our county, and the city. We've contributed in so many ways, historically, culturally. There could be parts of our history and contributions we've made that people really don't know about, and it's an opportunity to share those stories. We try to highlight different things, whether it be people who've been successful in business, people who've been successful in music. When I was growing up, I was either Japanese or Chinese. That was it. They didn't know about Koreans. They didn't know about being Filipino. So it's our chance to share those things. It's great for people to know just a little bit more about who their neighbors are and the amazing accomplishments that they've all given to the city. When growing up, it was always never sort of accepted that I was American. Right, that I was always, where you come from, and I understand that people want to know a little bit more about my cultural background, but it was always important for me to state first and foremost that I was an American, and that that identity was so incredibly important. Being an elected official, I think I understand not only the concerns of my community that I was raised in, but also the concerns of being a Korean American growing up here in the city of Los Angeles. And it's my chance to share those stories. You can aspire to be anything. There should be no ceiling for anyone anymore.
If you want to stay up to date with news and initiatives from Councilmember John Lee, visit councildistrict12.lacity.gov. AAPI Heritage Month was recently celebrated at City Hall with an event where attendees enjoyed food and performances. Different council members, city department representatives, and even media personalities were amongst those celebrating the accomplishments of the AAPI community in Los Angeles.
Today we are at Los Angeles City Hall celebrating the diverse Asian Pacific American cultures here in Los Angeles and Southern California. This is very personal for me. I used to come and work on this event for approximately 15 years when I worked at a mayor office and city council office a few years ago. And it's so good to see each and every one here celebrating the diverse tapestry that is the Asian Pacific American community in Los Angeles.
We grew up at a time where we didn't see faces like ours on TV, in the media. And some of the people that we are celebrating today come from the entertainment field, because I think it's so incredibly important for people to recognize that we are part of this country. While we celebrate our ethnic background, that does not lessen our love for this country.
I'm very, very humbled by being honored today. I think it always feels good to be recognized for the hard work that is being done in government, in nonprofit, in the private sector, and it's just a great feeling to celebrate with each other.
We are celebrating the Asian Pacific Islander community, but we also are highlighting our Los Angeles for Everyone campaign. Out of the 20 languages that we have for this campaign, 9 represent languages spoken by the Asian Pacific Islander communities of Los Angeles. So LA is for everyone. It's a great day to celebrate AAPI Heritage Month. Keep the faith, keep the fight.
I think particularly at this moment, it is important that we come together and celebrate our unity and our togetherness, and to celebrate our presence here in the great city of Los Angeles. So I couldn't be happier to be here along with you.
This has been a very challenging few years, but today we celebrate Happy Asian Pacific American Heritage Month.
Right by the West Coast University, the Laurel Grove Park is now getting a complete makeover. LA City Council President Paul Krikorian and Rec and Parks representatives recently broke ground in this open space, which will boast improvements that will allow people to enjoy outdoor activities and socialize.
This park has been a real treasure of the Laurel Grove neighborhood. There have been so many improvements here in the investments in the property itself, and what we're doing today is breaking the ground on the most recent one, which will be a brand new playground for the kids of this neighborhood.
3, 2, 1. Woo! Yeah, all right. Thank you, everybody. Great work.
Our organization, Laurel Grove, reached out to Krikorian's office to make this happen. It's wonderful because Krikorian actually listened. You can reach out, but if nobody's on the other side listening, things don't happen. So it was great, and we met with them. We did a walk. We asked for a number of things, and they put the pitch to Rec and Parks, and they approved it in record speed.
I think if you look at the park now, it's just a generic open space. And if you look at the renovations that we're doing, we're including workout stations, walking areas for the community. I think as we come out of the pandemic, we've realized that these open spaces, not only is it important to have these open spaces, but activities to do to keep themselves and their minds nice and refreshed.
I was here when Wendy Girl put in the playground equipment 20 years ago, the one behind us that is demolished. And it was in a lot of disrepair. And so we're really excited to get some new playground equipment, and along with that, some, walking paths and exercise station like they're installing in other parks.
We have a very committed community here that's really engaged in trying to bring improvements to the community. And they've worked closely with my office as long as I've been in the city council to bring improvements to this park. And now this playground replacement, it's going to be a phenomenal improvement for all of the people who live in this community.
Gloria Molina, the iconic politician and activist's life, will be celebrated with a tribute. The Los Angeles mayor's land proposal is underway, and the LA Department of Cultural Affairs receives funding for several reading projects. These stories up next on City Beat.
Former Los Angeles County Board Supervisor, trailblazing politician, and activist, Gloria Molina has passed away at the age of 74. She had been battling terminal cancer for the last 3 years, and on March 14th, Gloria announced she was entering a transition in life. Gloria broke many barriers as the first Latina elected to the California Legislature, LA City Council, and the LA County Board of Supervisors. Molina is celebrated for advocating for effective government reforms, tending to the county's public health care system, and environmental change. Mayor Bass stated, "She shaped Los Angeles in a lasting way while paving the way for future generations of leaders. I express my deepest condolences." Gloria passed away at her home in Mount Washington, surrounded by family, and a public celebration of her life is planned at La Plaza in the near future. Since taking office, LA Mayor Karen Bass declared a statewide emergency on homelessness and signed 3 executive directives to confront the issue. Upon review, the mayor wrote a letter to colleagues and Angelenos recommending a bolder approach to identify and quickly use city-owned resources. A new program exploring innovative ways to increase affordable housing development on publicly owned land starts in the new fiscal year, July 1, 2023. In partnership with Governor Gavin Newsom, site development of up to 500 interim housing units called emergency sleeping cabins is currently underway. For more information on the land proposal and the work of the mayor's office, visit mayor.lacity.gov. The Department of Cultural Affairs, DCA, has been selected to receive a $20,000 NEA National Endowment for the Arts Big Read Grant. DCA is one of 62 organizations in the nation selected for the grant that will assist a reading program of Charles Yu's book, Interior Chinatown. The NEA Big Read, which is an initiative in partnership with Arts Midwest, brings shared reading to help expand our knowledge of the world. The DCA also received $25,000 from Sony Pictures Entertainment for Angelenos to enjoy art projects, reading parties, workshops, and more. In addition to the reading of the book Interior Chinatown, there will also be a reading of Jean Luen Yang's book American Born Chinese. For more info, visit culturela.org.
In its effort to keep the streets of Los Angeles safe and free of drugs and guns, the LA Police Department recently made several high-profile arrests in an ongoing investigation. Thanks to their collaboration with the FBI, these individuals involved in violent gang activity and drug trafficking will be brought to justice.
Today's arrests signal the end of an investigation that started in late 2020 and focused on some of the most dangerous gang members in the Harbor area.
This morning we arrested 11 folks on federal charges, another 4 on state charges. The subjects of this investigation were criminals, violent drug traffickers. We went a little bit higher into the hierarchy of the group, so we're taking out what they call shot callers from the group. And with that, with taking those folks off, it's going to be much safer.
So our officers will go out and stop a gang member, and they'll get that gang member with a gun. That's kind of the street level. What we were looking for with this one is who's giving that gun to that gang member. Because before that gang member can go out and start shooting those rounds in our streets and our neighborhoods, someone is providing them that gun.
The crimes on the federal side are going to be drug trafficking, conspiracy, and gun charges.
We were targeting some of our criminal street gangs here in the local Wilmington area. However, our investigation took us even beyond that into the upper echelons of the criminal street gangs and the Mexican mafia, who have influence over a large swath of gangs in the South LA area. We were basically partners with the FBI on this endeavor, hand in hand, working alongside each other, developing the case and bringing it to what you see today.
So what the community may want to know is just how impactful an investigation like this can be. By taking out these individuals who are saying who gets killed and who gets shot, the violence should be much lower in the Harbor community going forward.
Proper hiring and job skills assessment were crucial to the success of this operation. In this week's feature story, we'll discover how city workers get hired and trained. In its goal of protecting the environment and finding greener alternatives for everyday tools, the South Coast Air Quality Management District has a gas-powered lawnmower replacement program. Councilmember Nithya Raman shares the steps that Angelinos who are interested need to follow.
A lot of people don't know this, but using a gas-powered lawnmower for just 1 hour generates as much pollution as driving your car from LA all the way to Las Vegas. That's why it's so important to take this equipment out of usage. The South Coast AQMD has a program that's going to help clean the air by replacing gas-powered lawnmowers with battery-powered lawnmowers. When you sell your old lawnmower to an approved dismantler and buy a new electric lawnmower, you can apply to AQMD for a $250 rebate. Can't be previously owned, and you can't buy a corded lawnmower. It has to be a battery-powered one. To get more information about the Residential Electric Lawnmower Program, go to aqmd.gov/lawnmower.
May is Older Americans Month, and Channel 35 wanted to visit the Department of Aging to discover all the reasons why our elders need to be celebrated. Who hasn't been mesmerized by their stories from the past or enjoyed watching an older couple slow dance? Take a look.
We celebrate our older adults every day, but especially in May because it is Older Americans Month.
I think it's important for us to celebrate seniors because they have become the forgotten population. We should be honoring their wisdom, we should be honoring what they have done for our society, and make sure that their lives continue to have meaning and to continue to be everything that they want to be.
Muchas gentes piensan que los adultos mayores somos una carga para la comunidad y no es así, también somos útiles, como siempre lo hemos sido y lo seremos todo el tiempo.
We have our older adults come in, take classes, activities, have lunch. On top of that, we also have intergenerational programs like our iPad chat program that helps older adults break that intergenerational divide and the technological divide.
This is very important for all people because we have something to do here. The personnel in here is very nice.
This year's theme of Aging Unbound was created by the Administration for Community Living for a way for us to celebrate the different ways that people choose to age.
It sparks conversation on how to break stereotypes in ageism. Our older adults have a wealth of knowledge that can contribute to their families, their society, and Los Angeles.
Most people who make the move to LA were once kids with a dream of working in the movie industry. Thanks to the Making Movies That Matter Youth Short Film Festival, kids with those dreams can experience the reality of the filmmaking industry and see their stories represented on the big screen.
This is our Making Movies That Matters program. This is the 4th time we've put this on, and every single year it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
The main goal for Making Movies That Matter is that the kids have an opportunity to truly create something. The kids get an opportunity to learn how to be screenwriters, how to be editors, directors, actors, and they get to grow in ways that they wouldn't normally be able to grow in a typical classroom.
My movie is called Taxes Are Coming, and my role was a homeless lady who was also begging for money.
They're making movies that matter to them. A lot of subjects that these kids want to talk about. And a lot of these subjects are at the forefront of what we're talking about in government. And so this is just an opportunity for them to share their thoughts on what's going on in the world and how it affects them.
As
a great opportunity for them to develop all their skills. I always tell all the parents that I meet to expose their kids to a lot of opportunities.
I got inspired making my own movie. It helps me with my confidence, coming out of my shell a little bit because I don't like talking very much.
We never know what might spark that interest in them. So that's why we're teaching these kids every single part about the movie making process. And who knows, they might go on to have a very, very successful movie career.
My grandfather died when I was only 2 years old. So he was an actor, he was a dancer, he was a singer. I loved all of that. So I'm trying to follow his footsteps and be what he couldn't be before he died.
In this week's feature story, we sit down with Dana Brown, General Manager of the City of LA Personnel Department, to learn about the services and opportunities they offer. Those wishing to become a city employee can learn about some of their specific programs and ways to get hired. Let's hear this story.
The Personnel Department is responsible for the recruitment, selection, examination, training, and retention of a diverse workforce for the City of LA. We're hiring, and we are a great employer. Retention is super important because once we have you as employees, how do we keep you as employees? We need to make sure that you have a work environment that is free from harassment and that is a place that you can grow and be productive and thrive. Some of the programs that we offer in the City of LA are like our Targeted Local Hire program and or our Bridge to Jobs program, which are both programs that allow certain targeted groups that often have barriers to employment a alternate pathway into civil service. We hire you in an exempt capacity, and then we train you, and then we observe that training, and then that becomes your exam. And it offers them another pathway in. Where you can go to get additional information on the Personnel Department is, of course, our personnel website, which is per@lacity.org. Your career goals are important to us, and Personnel Department is committed to providing training that will help you get where you want to go.
Empower yourself with the Drumming for Your Life Drum Circle. Connect with your artistic side at the first Thursday San Pedro Art Walk, or attend the Dear Cairo, My Dear Cairo photography exhibit. All this up next on Things to Do.
The Los Angeles Public Library invites you to take a drum journey. Drumming for Your Life will teach you how to better communicate with your inner self through drum. Learn how use of drum can help you empower yourself to create a better life for yourself and your community. Through the Drum Circle, you can tap into areas such as inspiring purpose, personal power, and group goals. You are invited. Bring your own drum, or drums will be provided for you. No skill or experience necessary. Drumming for Your Life will be held at the Westchester Loyola Village Library, Saturday, June 3rd, beginning at 1:30 p.m. Log on to lapl.org/events for more information. Now is the perfect time of year to enjoy the arts outdoors at the First Thursday San Pedro Art Walk. Join artists, entertainers, along with local San Pedro businesses as they join together in a celebration of the arts. It's an evening filled with open galleries, studios, street vendors, and live entertainment in the historic core of downtown San Pedro. Shop for unique gifts, clothing, antiques, and artwork that showcase local artists and business owners. The Art Walk starts at 5 p.m. Thursday, June 1st in the San Pedro Arts District between 4th and 8th Streets. Log on to culturela.org/event for more information. Don't miss this unique photo exhibition, Dear Cairo, My Dear Cairo, hosted by the LA Public Library. This distinct portrayal of life in Egypt's capital city is the work of Egyptian-American artist Zena Pliska. The exhibition is presented in conjunction with the release of Pliska's latest children's book, Egyptian Lullaby. Pliska hopes both the exhibit and book will help normalize Arab culture. Her art is a celebration of Arab life for those who are unfamiliar and an intimate portrait to those who are familiar with life in Cairo. The exhibit is on display at the Venice Abbot Kinney Memorial Branch Library through Friday, June 30th. Log on to lapl.org/events for more information. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.